Hi there and welcome to today's vlog, and we begin with a question. Do you have to go to church or to a local church to be a true follower of Jesus? Or perhaps we should say, should we expect that a true follower of Jesus belongs to, is part of a local church community? Of course, over the years, I've got a number of people say to me, well, I don't need to go to church to be a Christian. And in one sense, that is absolutely true, because there are some people who, because of old age and infirmity, are not able physically to go along to a church. And of course, that doesn't mean that they stop being Christians, believing in Jesus. That would be nonsense. The reason I'm asking this question is that when Sue and I moved here to Doncaster in July last year, it was a time of lockdown and churches were closed. And along with many people, we began to, or continued to, because we already started when we were in Leicester, when there were no church buildings open, to watch an online Sunday services. We have generally watched the online services from Holy Trinity Brompton. We found them really uplifting, inspiring, encouraging, and we've really truly enjoyed that. But of course, as now there's coming more freedom, a little bit more freedom, is it time that we connected now with a local church community, became part of a local church community? We kind of feel that, although in one sense we feel that we're being built up, we're being encouraged through our watching and being involved in that way online church. But should you actually be part of a physical local church community, it's still a bit difficult, because when you go along to church, many people are wearing masks and often there's no tea and coffee, or there hasn't been until recently. So it's difficult to get to really know people. Having said that, in recent weeks, we've been along to 3 different local churches to actual service. And to be perfectly frank, although we've actually enjoyed in different ways each of the 3 services, we have never in each of or in any of the 3 services really felt embraced or engaged as a new couple in that church community. There have sometimes been words of welcome, sometimes somebody on the door greeting us, but never we felt a real sense of, you are welcome here, we want you to serve you, and you to be part of our of us. And let me tell you a little bit about the service we went to last Sunday. We walked into this church, we'd not been to a service there, and there was the clergy person, I think she is a curate, stood to the left, and she glanced up at us but then turned away, and we went and found a seat, a pew that was empty. There was some papers on the pew that we were encouraged to follow. There was a liturgy, there's some hymns and notices, and the only time somebody spoke to us specifically was when somebody realised that we hadn't signed in, and they came to ask for our contact details for COVID purposes, for in case there was an outbreak of people who'd been there. So that was the only real engagement from somebody in the congregation. So and then as we left, there was again nobody really engaged us or spoke to us. And as Sue said, if we'd been someone new to church, not been used to being in church, not really sure what happens, we would have probably got totally lost in trying to follow through the liturgy that was used. So that wasn't it. Although we actually enjoyed in some ways the service, that wasn't a church. In fact, interestingly, on their website they say we are a welcoming church. Well, that wasn't really our experience. And there's similar tales to tell about the other churches we've been along to in recent months, and I'm just kind of really anxious that the church as a whole is not grasping this opportunity to welcome those who come. It was obvious when many churches went online that a lot more people were engaging in online church than had been going along to physical services. And maybe now that things are opening up, people might start trying out local churches. Well, we need to welcome people. We need to be aware of those who are new coming out among us. And so Sue and I are still looking for a church that we want to belong to, because although in one sense we feel that we are gaining from online church, the other side of it is that we're not giving, are we? Let me read to you a passage from the letter to the Hebrews. It says, "Let us not give up the habit of meeting together as some are doing." And I reckon that there'll be quite a lot of people who during lockdown haven't been to church, who are now tempted to stay away and get their church from perhaps online church, or maybe even not bothering with church altogether. Instead, it says, so let us not give up the habit of meeting together as some are doing. Instead, let us encourage one another all the more. So we are there not just to church is not just to something from which we receive, but it's also from which we give. We give to one another. And if we're not part of a local church, then how can we fulfill that element of giving, of serving, of encouraging? So that's just some random thoughts. I still believe that it's ideal to be part of a local church community. So if you're in that place and you're searching, then I pray God will guide you to the right place, as I'm praying that he will guide us too. So, but if you're part of a church, make sure that your church really does welcome those who come amongst you, embraces them, loves them, supports them. Thanks so much for listening today. God bless you.